Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
Well done. And now we move along to the next part of our epic tale, Chapter 2, entitled Going to School in the 1860s. Today's modern sprawling schools with hundreds of students and dozens of staff members are a far cry from the way kids were educated back in the 1860s. Everybody has heard of the one-room schoolhouse. It was the main form of early education in the United States, particularly in rural and newly settled parts of the country. In the 1860s, Michigan was still considered largely wilderness and had an agrarian economy. This was before we had centralized a national educational system, and each village would build its own schoolhouse, often in conjunction with the local church. And they would hire a school teacher. Teachers were usually women, unmarried or widowed, which is where we get the old stereotype of the spinster teacher or the schoolmarm. The class size varied from just a few students to a couple dozen, and all kids from age 5 to 17 might be learning together. In farming communities, the class size varied depending on season. During harvest season, when kids were needed to help work on their families' farms, there might be very few children in school. During the winter, classes tended to be larger. When the teacher felt like she had too many students to handle alone, she would appoint a helper or class monitor from the older students to help her teach the younger ones. In the North, there was no official segregation of schools in terms of race or culture, but often the Negro or Indian schools were created and segregation occurred anyway. Kids in the 1800s studied a basic curriculum of reading, writing, arithmetic, history, geography, grammar, spelling, and hygiene. The values of punctuality, honesty, and hard work were also given high priority. They were instructed by the recitation method, in which each pupil stood and recited a previously assigned lesson. A widely used series of 4 reading instruction books was created by William Holmes McGuffey. The McGuffey readers allowed kids at different reading levels to all learn together under one roof. Between 1836 and 1860, 120 million copies of the McGuffey readers were sold, putting it in a category with the Bible and Webster's Dictionary. And now, we present the second part of this story, Chapter 2, School. Well, the time eventually came when Ma and Pa decided it was time for Jeffrey and his younger brother Jonathan to go to school. Edward and Elizabeth Ann were too old. They were needed on the farm, and of course, little Sarah was far too young.
All right, Pa, come on out here. Now, I think it's time that you and I finally had this talk, all right? Now, I think that the kids should go to school, don't you?
Right.
Yes, well, Elizabeth Ann is too old, and so is Edward, really. But we've got 2 strapping young boys who are just the perfect school age, right?
And who are they?
They're Jonathan. Jonathan and Jeffrey, darling. Jonathan and Jeffrey.
Close enough.
That's all right, darling. I know you work so hard. You just can't keep anything in your head. That's all right.
So old.
Yes.
Yes, you are. But I love you all the same with your fluffy beard. Well, all right, let's go break the news to the kids. Oh, this is going to be fun.
And so the next morning, Jeffrey and Jonathan went for a walk through the woods to get to their new school building.
I don't know why we have to go to school.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I don't want school. What's school good for? Learning? What are we gonna get? Yeah, what are we gonna get? Jobs or something?
Nah.
And after their long walk, they came to the little white schoolhouse, wherein they ran into their teacher, Mrs. Chapman.
I guess this is it. This is the only building for like 10, 15 miles.
Please let this teacher be nice.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh.
You're late!
Yeah.
Yeah, we're late.
Yeah, yourself, kid.
Hey.
All right, today's assignment will be to take your McGuffey readers and memorize a piece of poetry for recitation tomorrow.
What does that mean?
What's poetry?
It means memorize it and say it in front of the class tomorrow.
What's a Scruff McGruff reader?
Not Scruff McGruff, a McGuffey, the reader, the book.
Oh, the book. Okay. I don't know how to read.
Shh.
Oh. It's gonna be a problem.
Do you two understand the assignment?
Yep.
I think so.
All right then. I'll see you for class tomorrow.
Can't wait.
So much fun.
And Mrs. Chapman went back to the teacher's lounge.
Looks like she's
Well,
alright.
the boys headed home that day, and they knew there was a lot of work to be done on the farm. They knew that without their help, their ma and pa would fall hopelessly behind with the tasks necessary to run the household, so they worked as hard as they could.
Oh, I'm so excited the boys are going to be home from their first day of school. Aren't you proud, Pa?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes, well, it's so good. They should be coming along any minute now. Let's see, where are those boys?
And there they were.
Oh, there they are. Boys, how was your first day
Wow,
of school?
school was great. It was so much fun. We learned a lot.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you get books and things?
What are books?
No, not yet.
I guess not. Well, do you have any schoolwork to do?
Nope.
No? Oh,
No.
They had forgotten all about their recitation assignment.
Well, come help me with the crops.
Oh, you want help with the crops,
Yes.
Dad?
Did you hear? Your father wants help with the crops. If you don't have any schoolwork to do, then you've
Okay.
got hard,
Right.
back-breaking labor to do.
Okay. Yeah, labor. Let's do this.
All right, there you
I'm
go.
ready.
And labor
You
they
can
did.
supervise with me.
Oh, here we go.
That cheese looks.
They fed the chickens, gathered the eggs, milked and fed the cows. They forgot all about their assignment.
Oh, wow, this is great.
I know.
I feel like there's something we were supposed to do, but
Yeah, some old lady told us to do something. What
Oh.
was it again?
I don't know. Gather eggs.
And
I think it was Mom. I think you're talking about Mom. She
Right.
said to gather eggs.
Wait, we're not supposed to call her old.
Yeah.
Hopefully she can't hear us.
She can't hear us. She can't hear anything.
And after their chores were done, they decided to call it a night.
Well,
That
let's
was nice.
call it a
Petting
night.
the cow. It's good. Class act right there.
I'm tired. Let's go.
Yeah, me too. Let's do this.
Can't wait to get to bed.